Hello, this is Senator Jim DeMint. 2 years ago, the so-called Great Recession officially ended. And 1 year ago, the Obama administration declared mission accomplished on the economy by announcing and celebrating what they called Recovery Summer. By now, 38 months since the recession began and 23 months since it ended, history says things should be getting better. The economy should be growing, new businesses should be opening, and new jobs should be here. But as you might have noticed, they're not. Let's compare today's recovery with those that followed the other 10 recessions we've had since the end of World War II. First, there are the job numbers. We know our unemployment rate is 9.1%, 80% higher than when the recession began. And we know more than 15% of our workforce is underemployed, unable to find the work they want and need. It shouldn't be this way. 38 months after the beginning of past American recessions, total employment had actually grown, on average by almost 4%. Americans were getting back to work. But today, total employment is 5% lower than when the recession began. In the past, when recessions hit, we would lose jobs, hit bottom, and then bounce back, creating new jobs about as fast as we lost the old ones. It was painful, but things did get better. But look at the recovery under President Obama. There's no bounce back. That's why so many people out of work have been out of work for so long. 38 months after the beginning of past recessions, the number of unemployed Americans out of work for at least 6 months had only grown by an average of 7 percentage points. Today, almost half of our unemployed have been out of work for 6 months or longer, 26 percentage points higher than at the beginning of the recession. Also, by this point after past recessions, America's participation in the labor force had actually risen. But this time, we're down 2 percentage points. How about economic growth, the true engine of any real recovery? Well, it's anemic today. In first quarter of 2011, the 13th quarter since the recession began, our economy only grew by 1.8%. 13 quarters after the beginning of past recessions, real GDP growth in aggregate was more than 9.9%. This time, less than 1%. And if you look, you'll find the same trend in consumer spending. Personal income, consumer credit, and perhaps worst of all, housing. These are uncharted depths for the American economy. We have never recorded a recovery so weak for so long with no sign of turning around. How did this happen? Why can't our economy recover like it always has in the past? What's so different this time?
My administration has a job to do as well. And that job is to get this economy back on its feet. That's my job. And it's a job I gladly accept. I love these folks who help get us in this mess and then suddenly say, well, this is Obama's economy. That's fine. Give it to me.
I will be held accountable. I've got 4 years.
You're going to know quickly how people feel about what's happening.
That's exactly right. And a year from now, I think people are going to see that we're starting to make some progress, but there's still going to be some pain out there. If I don't have this done in 3 years, then there's going to be a one-term proposition.
Big government doesn't solve our economic problems. Instead, it makes the old problems worse while creating new problems along the way. Yet even now, all Washington wants to do is spend more money. This cycle of spending won't stop unless we stop it. We need to do 3 things: cut, cap, and balance. We need to cut spending this year, cap spending going forward, and most importantly, pass a balanced budget amendment that forces Congress to keep cutting and capping forever. Only a balanced budget amendment can get us out of this mess and make sure government never gets us back into this mess again. Right now, as the President himself said, the economy belongs to Barack Obama and the Democrat Party. If we can pass a balanced budget amendment that cuts and caps spending, then the economy and America's future will once again belong to you.